You've probably heard of Tourette Syndrome. You might know someone who has it, but do you really understand what it is? Let's talk about it. Tourette Syndrome is a neurodevelopmental disorder that becomes evident in your childhood or your adolescence. It involves motor and vocal tics, and it's just one part of a spectrum of tic disorders. So tomorrow on CBS Mornings, lead national correspondent David Begnaud is going to introduce us to a man named Craig Elgin.
So tick-tock through all of your tics for me.
I got toe tics, I got leg stretching tic, hand stretching, wrists, arm stretch. I got the huff, the sniff, the laughing tic, hard blinking, throat clearing, face grimace. That's about all I can think of right now. And then new ones come and go. Luckily, I haven't had a new one in a while. Shoulder shrugging.
Oh, wow. David Begnaud is joining us live this morning. Good morning, David. I know this is a topic that is very important to you, and it was very important to you to share all of this information with all of your viewers because this is something you live with.
Yeah, I was diagnosed at the age of 6. Kristen, good morning to you. That was a great setup to this story. You know, my intention for wanting to tell this story is to simply raise awareness, right? Tourette's is often the butt of jokes. You see somebody in a restaurant, they're doing some ticking, you're like, well, that guy got some Tourette's, and a few people crack up. Well, Tourette's led to a very tormented childhood for me. My tics have gotten less, fewer, milder as I've gotten older. Adults were some of my best friends when I was younger because kids don't know and kids can be cruel, and so kids say things that hurt. But at the end of the day, when you are an adult, I think the stigma still stings, quite frankly. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to lessen that for people, and that's what I think this story is going to do. We profiled 3 people. The police officer you just met, Craig Elgin, the local TV reporter in Minneapolis who reached out to me and said, David, when I found out you had Tourette's and you spoke publicly about it, my mom told me she always thought I had it, so I went to the doctor and I got diagnosed too. And then I'm going to tell you about an accountant in Houston, Texas who had it so bad that he had to have a device implanted in his brain, and it changed his life for the better.
You know, it's so interesting that you say that about your childhood and your experiences and kids and how mean kids can be. That was my first introduction with Tourette's, was kids making fun of it. And so how did you get to the point where not only did you get to a sort of a good place with it or a manageable place with it, but then you also chose a career that puts you very publicly in people's living rooms?
I built a really thick skin, and I don't know that I ever got away from the ridicule. Listen, as people become adults, they just become more mature. I remember it was so bad in 5th grade that it was unsustainable, and the guidance counselor called together every kid in the 5th grade, and they basically had a conversation with all the 5th graders about David's Tourette's. Just hearing myself say it back is kind of embarrassing. As a kid, I wasn't embarrassed. I was thankful that they did it. I felt like I was being rescued. But I will say this, as an adult, what I say to young people who I talk to is, hey, look at me. I'm the lead national correspondent for CBS News, and I got Tourette's, and I am open about it. And if I can do this, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. It's not a life-threatening condition in most circumstances. There is medication, but a lot of times it doesn't work perfectly. The side effects can be even worse, so some people decide not to take it. I'm not on medication. And what I have done, Kristen, is I've leaned into what makes me different. I ran away from it for so many years. Now I lean into it. And it works better for me doing it that way.
I love that so much, and that's really a life lesson on so many things. David, I have to tell you though, until you started talking about it, I would have had no idea that you live with Tourette's. How are you able to manage it and do the job? I would have had no clue.
Well, they've gotten worse within the last few years. I have eye tics, eye blinking, I have a neck tic, I have a tongue tic that's really humiliating. And I have this one tic that really embarrasses me. I dart my eyes from left to right sometimes when I'm interviewing people, and when I see it back on the camera, I think, what must that person have thought when I was doing that? So it used to be to where when the red light went on, I never did it. Stress induces it. Just talking about it, quite frankly, will make me tick. But you know what? That's my thing. That's what I got. And everybody's got something. And so I just want to take what I got and use it to raise awareness, lessen the stigma for other people, and let other people see me and say, hey, I'm not a freak show. Look at David. Because if this little David would have seen somebody like me on television when I was 6 years old, it'd have blown my mind.
You are absolutely changing people's lives just by talking about it. We cannot wait for the story to air tomorrow morning on CBS Mornings. You know we're watching every single morning from our little office back here in Charlotte.
Thank you, my friend.
And we're also watching you when you are on The Talk, and that is a lot of fun.
Yo, that's a lot of fun. We love you guys in Charlotte. So thanks for having me on, and I'll see you tomorrow, 8 a.m. CBS Mornings, bright.